My mother texted me that I was not invited to the luxury Mediterranean cruise I had fully funded for our family right after I bought them a house worth nearly $1 million. So I sold the house while they were sailing across the ocean. You will not believe what happened when they returned. Before I continue this story, let me know where you are watching from in the comments below. Hit like and subscribe if you have ever had to stand up to family who underestimated your worth. My name is Lydia and I am 34 years old. I stood at the Delta check-in counter at the international terminal feeling a rare sense of genuine excitement. My luxury boutique staging firm had just concluded its most profitable quarter yet, and I was ready to celebrate. The terminal around me buzzed with the frantic energy of travelers dragging oversized luggage and checking departure boards. I held my passport tightly in my hand. I had spent $30,000 booking a 2-week Mediterranean cruise for my family. It was supposed to be a bonding experience, a chance for all of us to reconnect after a highly stressful year. I had booked premium staterooms for my parents, Patricia and Richard, and a suite for my older brother Cameron and his wife Courtney. I even arranged for private excursions in Greece and Italy, hoping to create memories we could cherish for a lifetime. I was next in line to check my bags when my phone chimed with a text message notification. I pulled it from my pocket, expecting a message from my mother asking where we should meet near the gate. Instead, the text from Patricia read, "You are not coming. Dad wants just family. We gave your ticket to Courtney's sister." I stared at the glowing screen, trying to process the words. My brain simply refused to compute the sheer cruelty of the message. Just family. I was her daughter. I was the one who had carefully planned the entire itinerary over the past 6 months. I was the one who had paid for every single aspect of this luxury vacation. How could I suddenly not be family? The absolute audacity of giving my premium ticket to my sister-in-law's sister was staggering. A woman I had met exactly twice was currently preparing to board a ship on my dime while I stood abandoned at the airport. I stepped out of the check-in line, ignoring the annoyed sighs of the passengers behind me, and immediately dialed my mother's number. It rang 3 times before someone answered. But it was not my mother. It was my 37-year-old brother Cameron. He laughed loudly into the receiver over the background noise of the busy airport lounge. "Well, if it is not the workaholic spinster," Cameron said, his voice dripping with intense condescension. "What do you want, Lydia? We are about to board the plane." I demanded to know what was going on and why my mother had sent that horrific text message. Cameron sighed loudly into the phone as if I was being an unbearable nuisance. "Look, Lydia, you need to stop acting so entitled right now. Courtney's sister really needed a vacation. She has been going through a hard time, and frankly, she is much more fun to be around than you. You always bring the mood down with your constant business talk and serious attitude." Cameron. "I paid $30,000 for this trip," I said, my voice shaking with a mixture of disbelief and rising anger. "You cannot just give away a ticket that I purchased with my own hard-earned money to a stranger." Cameron scoffed loudly. "Your hard-earned money? Please, you just decorate houses for rich people. It is not like you have a real job that contributes anything meaningful to society. I am launching a massive cryptocurrency firm next month, and I need this trip to decompress before the big launch. You know how stressful the startup world is. You should be supporting my mental health instead of throwing a massive tantrum at the check-in counter." I could barely comprehend his deep delusion. Cameron was a perpetual failure who constantly called himself an entrepreneur but had never actually built a successful company in his entire life. Every single venture he touched went bankrupt within a year. And now he was lecturing me about hard work while standing in a VIP lounge that I had paid for. Before I could respond to his absurd claims, I heard scuffling on the other end of the line. My mother Patricia snatched the phone from him. Her tone was sharp and completely devoid of any maternal warmth. "Lydia, you need to calm down and stop making a scene," Patricia snapped. "You have plenty of money. You can go to Europe anytime you want. Your brother desperately needs this relaxation. He has been under so much extreme pressure lately trying to build his legacy." "Mom, you told me I was not family," I said, my voice dropping to a harsh whisper. "You took my ticket and gave it to a complete stranger." "Do not twist my words," Patricia replied smoothly, instantly deploying her favorite gaslighting tactic. Your father and I just wanted a peaceful family vacation without you constantly reminding us how much everything costs. You are always so terribly selfish, always trying to ruin your brother's happiness. Selfish. I repeated the word, tasting like ash in my mouth. I paid for the cruise. I just bought you and Dad a $966,000 house in a beautiful coastal Florida community because you were secretly drowning in massive debt and facing immediate bankruptcy. I completely saved you from losing everything. Patricia scoffed, completely unbothered by the stark reality of my massive financial support. We let you buy us that house, Lydia. It was the very least you could do after everything we sacrificed to raise you. You owe us this piece. We are keeping the ticket. Do not call us again until we get back from our trip. The line went completely dead. I lowered the phone slowly. I stood in the middle of the bustling terminal holding my luggage handle. I did not cry. I did not scream. I did not beg them to let me come. The lifetime of constantly trying to buy their love, of hoping that my financial support would finally earn me a secure place in their hearts, vanished in a single instant. A cold and absolute clarity washed over me. I realized then that they would never ever see me as a daughter. I was just a convenient ATM to them, a bottomless source of funding for their beloved golden child, Cameron. As I watched the families around me hugging and laughing, the stark contrast between their joy and my isolation became agonizingly clear. I had spent weeks picking out the perfect shore excursions, researching the best local restaurants in Florence, and carefully coordinating our travel schedules. I had even purchased matching luggage tags, a silly gesture that now felt deeply humiliating. All that effort, all that meticulous planning meant absolutely nothing to them. They had effortlessly discarded me the moment they secured the financial benefits of the trip. The realization settled heavy in my chest, replacing the initial shock with a burning, righteous indignation. I was not just a neglected daughter. I was a fully functioning adult who had allowed herself to be financially exploited under the guise of family loyalty. That realization was a bitter pill to swallow, but it was also the exact medicine I needed to finally wake up. I turned my luggage cart around and walked away from the Delta counter. I found a quiet table at a terminal cafe overlooking the busy tarmac. I ordered a black coffee, sat down, and opened my laptop. No worries. I texted back to the family group chat. Have a great trip. Then I securely logged into the cruise line portal. My corporate credit card was linked to every single stateroom on their reservation. They were expecting to enjoy 2 entire weeks of unlimited luxury on my dime. With a few simple clicks, I completely revoked the payment authorization for Patricia, Richard, Cameron, and Courtney. I canceled the premium unlimited drink packages. I canceled the private guided tours in Rome. I canceled the beautiful sunset catamaran excursion in Santorini. I canceled the expensive luxury spa credits Courtney had booked for herself and her sister. I removed my credit card from their onboard accounts entirely. Once they boarded that massive ship, they would have absolutely $0 attached to their room keys. They would have to individually pay for every bottle of water, every meal outside the main dining hall, and every single excursion out of their own empty pockets. A deeply satisfying smile spread across my face as I closed the cruise portal. Let us see how they enjoy Europe with $0, I thought to myself. I took a slow sip of my hot coffee, feeling significantly lighter than I had in many years. The toxic cord tying me to their endless entitlement had finally been severed. But my moment of peaceful clarity was abruptly interrupted. My phone vibrated heavily on the cafe table. It was an urgent push notification from my premium property management application. I opened the app and stared at the alert in utter confusion. The smart locks on the $966,000 coastal Florida house I had just purchased for my parents had been manually overridden. Someone had explicitly entered the master security code and permanently changed the locks. My blood ran completely cold. My parents were supposed to be boarding a flight to Europe right now. They could not possibly be at the coastal property. I tapped the screen to immediately view the security camera feed from the driveway. The live video loaded and my jaw clenched tight. A massive commercial moving truck was backed perfectly into the driveway of the pristine coastal estate. I could see two strange men carrying a large leather sofa through the front doors.